So, Promised Neverland episode 5 of season 2 came out, and in terms of what got revealed to us, I would say it was a banger episode, but in terms of the overall quality of the episode, I feel like I have a few problems with it. So, just to start out, I just want to remind everyone where we left off in episode 4, and we saw their shelter being raided, and they essentially had to escape by the skin of their teeth, and they got saved by that huge monster that eventually killed all the adults at the end. So from there, I feel like to the start of episode 5, where there's a sudden 6-month time skip, it felt a little bit cheap, because I'm not convinced, as I mentioned in my previous Norman related video, I'm not convinced that Emma and Ray are doing that hot out in the wild, and I feel like the entire group, because it's consisting of 20-30 children, is going to struggle quite a bit living out in the wild. So for them to just tell me it's all going to be okay and then just skip forward 6 months because they found a little abandoned temple where they're basically half starving to death, and basically barely meeting their ends, I'm not convinced. I don't feel like this is the kind of pacing I wanted from Promised Neverland. I genuinely wanted to see more of Emma and Ray's struggle out in the wild, and it just to progress from the day to day, because I feel like their day to day survival was much harder to just tell us that there's 6 months past now out of nowhere. And not only that, I feel like the entire theme of this episode was a little bit different, a little bit weird. I mean, whether to criticize it or not is, well, it's a choice, right? Because we see these two demons at the start of the episode that are also struggling to meet ends, and they have two young ones that are about to die because of starvation, and we see their stories about how they want to feed the children some meat from Gracefield. And it's okay. I mean, I'm gonna say it's fine. They wanted to take this route for this episode, and it's interesting that they wanted to do an episode that was different to their usual Promised Neverland style. But I still feel like I've been cheated out, and this doesn't help because I know some of the content in Promised Neverland is anime only and it hasn't been adapted from the manga. So if these are the decisions taken by the production staff to progress the anime, I feel like I have the right to criticize it because it feels out of place. It feels like a decision made on a whim instead of actually what is available out there in the manga and being adapted slowly but surely, right? It also feels cheap that they took the 6-month time skip and conveniently revealed Norman to us in this episode. And you can say that next week's episode is going to be a recap episode, so them revealing Norman in this episode makes it so we have to, well, we can let the thought simmer for two weeks. So it's, it's a good stopping point for now. But I'm not exactly convinced. I don't like the idea. I don't like the approach. I feel like I was gonna say this. I don't know the exact details for why Norman is alive, so if there isn't a good enough reason that he couldn't show himself earlier, or, they show Norman just hanging out with his new pals and that he's safe and he's slowly going to reveal himself to Emma and Ray because they're clearly struggling out there, that would have been fine. But right now I'm not in a position to make that kind of I don't know the details behind Norman's existence in this anime. Is he being trapped by demons and just barely being helped out, or was there ways to integrate him into the story before this reveal? Because, I mean, shock value wise, I feel like yes, this reveal does have a lot of value, but I don't value shock value that much. I know I'm using the word value a lot. It's not important to me. I feel like I would much rather know what's going on behind the scenes and then it being slowly revealed to the characters in the show, and that's more satisfying to me. And if it could have been done like that, I would have loved Norman's reveal to be done like that. So yeah, either way, I feel like as a factor of all these things, this episode wasn't exactly up to my standards, and it has disappointed a little bit. And since we have next week's episode being a recap episode, I don't know what they're going to recap, but I'm gonna watch it. But we know that we don't have any new content coming out next episode, so either way, this is what Promised Neverland has left us with, and I feel like I'm a little bit disappointed. So I feel like I'm gonna keep patience. One bad episode isn't the end of the world, but if this is the route that Promised Neverland is taking, I feel like it's a little bit sketchy. So either way, that was my concluding thoughts on episode 5. Nothing too serious, I'm not going to drop the anime, but overall I feel like it disappointed a little bit. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to mention the fact that I literally just made a Norman video 2 weeks ago or a week ago now, and they already decide to come out with Norman. I'm a little bit disappointed, but I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to get that in the way of me evaluating the episode. Although I feel like I am a little bit. There has to be a little bit of bias in this situation, but either way, I feel like there was many things that could have been done better, and yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.